I think I'm gonna switch to Neo now. Um,
Oh, you're upping it up.
yeah, I see what's on the line here now. Okay. Um, Pete, I'm gonna show you something. S- Stay with me here. It'll be a couple steps to get there, but how we can use a cursor with a point cloud, right? And that
Point
might be
cloud.
a point cloud,
Oh,
exactly. That might be important if we have a certain attribute we want to look at, maybe a sound pressure level at a certain component, and we want to look at it with regard to two variables, maybe something like power and RPM, right? Engine power and RPM. So let's start off. I'm going to put a front back in here, and let me just grab some time data here really quickly. Uh, Drop that on the front. That's my engine tacho. Then I'm going to put the power here on the back. And using your cool trick here, I'm going to go to edit. And I am going to grab a color map, stick it right next to it. And just hit OK there. And let's look at the attribute we're probably interested in. Like I said, maybe the microphone response at the gearbox in this data set, which is, I keep passing it. Oh, there we go. I don't know if that's the inverter. I said gearbox. I want to hold to my word. Okay. Let me make this bigger for you, Pete.
thanks.
And I tried to change my resolution here so this would be as big as possible. uh, So instead of looking at this color map, obviously we have sound pressure is the color, is the amplitude. We have frequency here on this x-axis, and this y-axis is time. I want to switch that y-axis to engine tacho so I can see the orders a little bit clearer. And let's zoom
Okay.
in a bit. Um, and I guess I'll jump back out for a quick sec. Maybe you notice these.
PWM
Yeah,
or
exactly,
power inverter electronics. Yeah.
exactly. So this vehicle is actually an electric vehicle, just to make you aware of it. Um, that may come important when we come look at some of our data later. So as you look at this, we can see what's going on with the engine tacho. It's going up and then coasting down, running up, coasting down, running up. And at the same time, we see the power accordingly. It's going up and going down at different levels. We can even see that even as the RPM is going up and down through similar values, the power sometimes is not always the same either. So it isn't just a constant run up or a constant coast down, right?
Or I guess I'd even say it's not like one's a scale factor of the other. There's a non-linear relationship between power and RPM. Like
Yeah,
it can
that's a
vary
good
a
way
bit.
of putting.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it.
All right.
Uh, so I guess too, I want to put a little bit of red in here, just like you do. So maybe try to shift this in the other direction, and we'll throw an order cursor on here now. Now, what's probably not obvious too when we look at this color map, like we see here in the time domain, like we said, it's running up and running down. We really probably can't see that by just looking at that color map. So if I throw a couple more graphs on here, first one on the front back underneath this time data, and then we'll add that point cloud that we're going to use underneath our color map and hit OK. Now if I go processing, select processing for that order cursor and drop it in over here on our front back. Now you can see, yeah, this isn't just your normal run-of-the-mill order cut, right? Because this
It's really
vehicle is
going
going
up
through a
and
lot, a
down.
lot
Yeah.
of operating conditions, right? Back and forth through several different RPM points. So that's why it looks like it's all over the place. So probably a better thing to do in this scenario is go to curve style. We won't show the line segments, but we will turn on some marker points and we'll use dots and apply those. Now it's a little bit more intuitive, right? to look at this, and certainly when we see how
I can see a cloud of points coming. These are like different pressure levels at different RPM and horsepower combinations, huh?
exactly.
Huh.
And if we take that same order now, processing cursor, and drop it in our point cloud, and we have
So the
RPM. Okay.
yeah, the two things on the bottom are actually the same information, but one is a lot more colorful. Sorry.
Yeah, it is. But I don't want to look at it in time. Like I said, we want to look at that pressure, sound pressure level at that gearbox with regard to engine torque, and we set power. So let's change this axis here, this y-axis, to power.
Oh,
And just so we can see the points that are used to make this cloud, I will go to options, miscellaneous, and then turn on the markers as well here. And we can see all the points.
wow.
And you can kind of see what's going on here, Pete. So if I have high RPM at this particular order, this 50th order, higher RPM, and you can see power is going up here, and I have high power, I can see I have higher levels of sound pressure level, right?
Yeah, you'd think like high power, high RPM should be the loudest, right?
Right, exactly. But of course, there's some things too, because this vehicle is electric vehicle. I think there was a couple orders, if I could
Well, I think
find it.
if you go back to your original order you were on, it had a weird pattern. Slightly. So there
Well,
it's high RPM, high power. But what about like 50th order or so?
50th order, we can just type it in even,
Yeah,
jump to it.
a little further. That keep going. Oh,
Raw
now
right there.
that is way different.
Right.
Now that's saying that's negative power on the other side.
Exactly. What's we
And
talked about it
high
being an electric
RPM.
vehicle, right? So yeah, it uses regenerative braking too. So that's why even though you can see the power is negative here,
So
right?
that order is loud if you have regen braking on or something, huh?
Exactly. Loading up that gear set differently, no doubt. So
Dang,
this
that's
is nice use of a order cursor with the point cloud, right?